Media flights give area journalists an opportunity to see what the Hot Air Affair is all about.
This guy knew what the coolest shot was.
This year, reporters, photographers, pilots, and crew prepared for liftoff from the Hudson House Inn. As balloons were unfurled and inflated, I visited with Miss Hudson royalty. As the balloons are about ready to take flight for Media Day, I'm joined by the Hudson Princesses and Miss Hudson, Alana Irwin, Chelsea Johnson, Amber Crone. And Alana, how excited are you to get to see these balloons take off today?
I'm really excited.
Chelsea, this is the first time as a group the three of you get to come out and be a part of this event and actually kind of be in more of an official role as spokespeople for the city of Hudson. What's it mean to you to be able to come out and see this event and be a part of it as a Miss Hudson?
It means so much more seeing this firsthand. It's just a lot of fun.
Okay. And Amber, are you excited about this weekend? I mean, it should be a great weekend. Today, Super Day, 2 balloons getting up, but we have this mass ascension coming up. How excited are you guys for this?
We're really excited. It's a really fun way to get involved with the community, and it's just really fun to be able to experience it.
And you guys have been through this before. You've seen the Hot Air Affair. I mean, it's not something that's new to you, but just to be part of it and actually get to kind of come out here and help the pilots get everything set up. But what's that going to be like for you for an experience?
Oh, it's amazing. I really hope we get to go up today and get to see everything from a different view.
And as representatives of Hudson, I mean, it's something that, you know, this is kind of I don't want to say it's your kingdom, but it kind of is as Queens of Hudson.
Yes, it is. It's so fun to be here and see them. I've never been this close to an air balloon, so it's a lot of fun.
And with Media Day, we don't get to see all these TV stations from the Twin Cities come in too often. What'd they say to you? I saw them over there talking to you earlier.
Oh, we were just talking to him about how this is like an experience none of us have had before, so it's really cool.
So Hot Air Affair should be an exciting event for everybody in Hudson, but especially for the Hudson Princesses and Miss Hudson. The balloons took shape and the pilots fired up their burners. The hot air lifts the balloon off the ground into an upright position. Pilot Scott Ahmet gave the command to load up, and my videographer Paul Winkles was right behind me.
Showed everybody where their parachutes are just in case and everything, right?
After a little humor from the crew, it was time to take to the air.
All right, I'll go.
See you guys later.
Have fun!
There was nothing more serene than floating along with the wind. The traffic below served as a reminder that the rest of the world kept moving at the usual pace. Tough commute today, huh? Clouds were beginning to overcome what was a sunny day, but visibility was still good.
It's still 10 miles. But you can still see Minneapolis or St. Paul right away. And that's 20-some miles away.
Ahmet knows the area well. He operates a commercial ballooning company in Stillwater. His history with the Hot Air Affair reaches back to the first year.
I was at the first couple, and then it was off and on after that. But, so I can say on and off for 21 years. I would say I've been to at least half of them.
The event has grown since the early days, and Scott believes it still serves the community well.
It was basically a group of friends that just got together and wanted to have a little event to promote Hudson in the off-season. And the whole idea was to help business owners in the winter months when it's really tough to make a buck around here, and bring some people into town. And over the years, it's grown, but not grown to the point where it's out of hand. It's still fun. It's still just a fun, tight-knit group of people. It's not like Albuquerque Balloon Fest or some of the big ones where it's gotten so sponsor-ridden that it becomes not even fun anymore.
And fun is what it's all about.
Well, the biggest difference for a pilot who flies April through October all the time, and then it's like turning the faucet off and we're not flying anymore. So for me, it's a chance to just get up in the air again. Pilots start to shake after a while if they haven't been in the air for a while, and especially balloonists. So it's a good way to break up the winter and have a good balloon event in the winter. But as far as the type of flying, it's a lot different than flying in the summertime. But it's a lot of fun in its own way because the balloon's much more responsive because it takes less heat to keep you in the air, and you can fly for a longer period of time on the same amount of fuel because you're using less fuel. So there's a lot of things that are cool. There's no foliage on the trees, so you can see a lot more wildlife. You're floating with the wind, so there's no wind chill. So it's actually a little warmer up here than it is on the ground, except for your feet because you don't move around a lot. But other than that, it's just with the blanket of white like it is today. It's just a totally different perspective of the same areas that we've been flying over.
Ahmed says one of his great joys is taking passengers on their first flight.
That's why we keep doing this. You know, it's unlike any other kind of aircraft. In a helicopter going over the Grand Canyon every day and taking people for rides, you go and you come back, you go and you come back, and it's the same thing every single day. Ballooning is totally different. Once you leave the ground, you're floating with the wind. You become one with the weather. And there's no other kind of aircraft and no other type of flight. And people's reaction, it's totally different than anything else you've ever experienced. It's just you're floating. It's like standing in your living room and you're floating and having a panoramic view of the best scenery in the area. So it's pretty incredible. Most of the time they're pretty white-knuckled as they're going up, but once you get up here and realize that there's no jerkiness, there's no sense of motion, it turns out to be relaxing.
The Hot Air Affair is on his home turf, but Ahmed also flies internationally.
Given us lots of good opportunities that I wouldn't normally have. But our main season, we're doing rides here April through October over the Stillwater and St. Croix Valley area. So we're kind of locked in from April through October. There's a lot of people that want to go flying. But in the off season, we're taking every opportunity we can to go and see some other parts of the world. Just in the last couple of years, we've started to get involved with some people, and that I didn't realize there really was kind of a group of people that travels all over the world just for fun. You know, I assume that corporate sponsors and those guys are traveling to every event, but we've been to Mexico two times in the last 2 years. We've been to Bogota, Colombia. We were invited to go there and fly over downtown Bogota, Colombia. That was pretty amazing. And it's just an opportunity to be able to go to parts of the world that you'd never get to go to and have them, you know, basically pay your way. Sponsorship pays your way to experience some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. You know, with an opportunity to be able to take a balloon somewhere like that and just be able to go flying.
The trip to Colombia left a lasting impression on Scott.
That area is very proud, and it's changed. Their perception is different than it was back in the 80s. They're trying to change their reputation a little bit. Because, you know, it was pretty rough there for a while, but now it's become a tourist area. I mean, it's beautiful scenery and really nice people, and it's a really cool place to go, and they want to get that word out to people. So it was a big promotional event for the city, and people were coming up to us and hugging us and just thanking us for bringing something like this to the area. It was really cool.
Speaking of real cool, the view just keeps getting better.
No other way to get a perspective on a 60-foot pine tree.
As we pass over Hudson neighborhoods, this time at a lower altitude, the conversation begins.
You're doing a nice job on the driveway. How you doing today?
Where are you guys from?
Well, we're taking off in Hudson because of the Hudson Hot Air Affair this weekend.
Yeah.
So we're kind of promoting that.
Oh, cool.
One of the great things about winter ballooning is the opportunity to see wildlife.
That is a very big bug.
This flight was the first for videographer Paul Winkles.
I'm surprised how calm it is. I assumed it would be a little more rocky or up in the wind, but you know, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a feeling that you don't really get usually to go up this high. It kind of feels like you're just watching a really big TV of some like widescreen movie. It's, yeah, just really calm, and you know, nothing really comparable to anything I've ever done, so it's pretty interesting.
Development is both a blessing and a curse for balloonists. It offers plenty of roads for easy pickup, but more obstacles for landing.
Getting ready to land up there. Yeah, we're going a little quick. Next road up.
A light pole ensures the next
we're
road
gonna have
up
to keep
won't
going.
work either.
There is no street. We got that light pole, or else I'd do it.
What do you do now?
I don't know. Keep going.
There's no reason to take a spot that you're uncomfortable with. You know, there's always going to be something coming up again. I'd rather play it safe and find the next one than to try to stick it into a spot where you've got a foot on the side of the balloon before you hit a light pole. There's just no reason for it. So just keep going and something else will pop up.
As we continue our flight over the railroad, the other balloon lands.
That's what's nice about those big balloons too, they just stop. Yeah, there's a bunch more houses up here, so we'll find something.
Balloons are almost entirely at the mercy of the wind.
This road that's right underneath me, I'm not going to be able to hit this one either. There's a big, huge tree right in front of me again.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you plan, but you end up getting a few more sights of Hudson.
There's a little, just a slight change right on the ground. You got a little bit more of a surface wind just right on the deck. That's making it a little trickier.
A little trickier maybe, but years of experience make this landing flawless despite the conditions.
I'm gonna stuff it in right behind this tree. So we're gonna have to come in a little steep. It'll take you off guard when we hit. One more hit. I want to see if we can stop it without laying it down.
The chase crew helps pull us to a stop, and it's time to start packing up. Scott pulls the top of the balloon open, and in moments, it's on the ground.
Perfect. Well done. Awesome.
The crew carefully bags up the balloon, and it's time for the traditional toast.
We have a toast to a safe flight. Any flight we can walk away from is a good one.
It was a great one. Seventh best part of the day.
Day one of the Hot Air Affair didn't start off as planned.
This morning we got some pretty good wind, and the good news is that the wind's going to go down as the day progresses. So the longer we wait, the better it's going to get. But that's not going to help us this morning.
Despite a no-go in the morning, pilots met with the crowd and prepared for an afternoon flight. Daytime events kept everyone entertained, but the pilots' meeting to come would decide whether balloons would go aloft.
We have all pilots over here. Quick briefing. All the pilots front and center will do a pie ball, get things going here. Pilots, if you'll come up here close, please. Come on up front. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, guys. The group hug for the pilots here. Okay, we'll let the pie ball go here, and we'll just see what we get here.
You still see it, guys? Yeah. Where's it at?
Yeah, right up there.
Fortunately, the wind was favorable and the flight was on.
All right, guys, this is a go. The POW balloon and the Red Wedge balloon, the Liberty Bell will be taking out first.
That's good news to the crew.
We're going.
Okay.
Today, we're flying with Iowa pilot Tim Cloyd. Now that the decision to fly has been made, the work begins. The basket is assembled,
Take it out.
and the balloon is removed from the bag and prepared for inflation. You won't find fans like these at the hardware store. As crew members hold the envelope open, the powerful fans fill the balloon. Pilots often call this cold packing. As the lead balloons leave the launch field, burners are lit and heat is applied. The hot air lifts balloons off the ground and into an upright position. More balloons leave the field and our turn approaches. Today, about 30 balloons would take flight. As the balloon lifts off the ground, we get a bird's eye view of the launch field. In addition to pilot Tim Cloyd, I'm joined by Hudson still photographer Marnie Matz. Today's flight is a bit different than Wednesday's. The wind pulls us over downtown Hudson, then Lake St. Croix. Some balloons drop down for a closer look at the frozen waters of the St. Croix. As Marnie and I capture the images of the flight, Tim keeps an eye on traffic.
Things change, even from here to a balloon ahead of me. That same altitude, the winds could change for me, but at least they have an indication of what's going on now.
The balloon crosses into Minnesota and the crew is not far behind. While his passengers keep snapping away, Tim checks for a good place to land.
All right, I am looking for a landing spot shortly here.
Okay, 10-4.
I'm going to go down to treetop level. We're going to skirt the treetops.
The crew works their way across the border as we touch down in a field.
We just got a visual on you there, Tim.
The crew can't reach us in this field, and Tim decides to hop over to another field.
I'm going to bring it up and over to you.
You get 2 liftoffs for the price of 1.
That's awesome.
We pop over the tree line. Wait a second, did I say over? And into another cornfield.
Just the other side of the corn.
He's going to try to catch us.
Gotcha.
The crew is there to meet us, and it's time to pack up the balloon. Our flight comes to an end, and now we get a chance to talk with pilot Tim Cloyd from the Des Moines, Iowa area. And Tim, your first Hot Air Affair, what's your impression so far after the first flight?
I think it's a wonderful time. I love that all the people were on the field and the excitement as it starts up, the balloons go up, and the crowd just builds to a crescendo. It's great.
Now, this is your first Hot Air Affair, but definitely not your first flight. Can you tell me about some of the places that you've been with your balloon Spitfire?
Well, I've been to St. John's, Canada, near Montreal, Colorado Springs, Iowa, Illinois, a lot of Midwest flying. This is my first time in Wisconsin flight, but I'm planning on a lot more flights throughout the year.
Okay, and you talked about some of those other places. You said you were in Colorado. What's the difference between a summertime ballooning festival and a wintertime festival like the Hudson Hot Air Affair?
Clothes, for one. But yeah, it's easier to work in, but more people do come out. It's just the excitement is there, whether it's winter or summer, but it's easy to work without all the gear on. But it's still a blast either way.
You get to see things kind of from a different perspective. No leaves on the tree. And today, when we hit the ground, we had kind of the ability to slide across the ground thanks to the snow.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Sometimes you have mud and you can go along the mud, but here we were able to scoot right along there. Kind of as we walked the balloon, we were walking right on top of the snow as we were walking through.
You are a pilot and also a flight instructor. Those are flights that you kind of take by yourself, and when you take people out, most of the time you're by yourself. What's the difference between going out and doing a flight by yourself and flying in a festival such as this?
Well, one thing I want to mention that I don't want to fly by myself. I always love to take people along. The thrill of the flight, the thrill of them going is what makes it well worthwhile, especially if you get a first-time flyer up. I always take my crew, and I always train them well throughout crewing. But as for a festival, a lot of times it is the first-time flyers. People that don't get a chance to see a balloon up close, and that's their opportunity. But the thrill of just the excitement on their face. I mean, they're on cloud nine for months sometimes, and that's what makes it all worthwhile.
But from a perspective of being in the air, just your balloon, compared to being in the air with 30 or 40 or some of these places that you've gone to, probably 100 different balloons. What's the feeling, the difference in those two different flights?
Well, it's sometimes it's challenging with all the balloons around. You got to really be on your game and fly well. But it's fun when you can converse and talk to another pilot in the other basket that's right over there. You're flying with them, all the colors in the sky. It does make it fun because there's a camaraderie of balloonists, and it's like a family out here, and we love to, go flying with each other. Whether we may take off at the same spot, but land somewhere different, but it's fun flying with you. And so we're seeing all the colors. That's what's great.
And a lot of these guys you see at some of the other places. What are some of the other balloons that are here that you see some of these other places you go to?
Well, I know some of the pilots. I know Dale Domery's from Ottumwa. I know some of the Iowa pilots. Brian Seymour, Mike Reinhardt from Iowa, Bill Mahone. He's from Minnesota. And then Wynn Gustafson from either Wisconsin or Minnesota. I'm starting to get to know more as I'm going to these events, and it's nice. You get to know how they fly and get to develop that friendship, camaraderie.
Well, Tim, I appreciate the flight. We had a great time. I hope the people who watch the flight enjoy it. And this evening we've got either the moon glow or field of fire. And the way things are looking, there's a good chance we'll get a moon glow tonight.
Yeah, and for the as much work as you may see here, guess what? We got to go do it again.
Are we ready? Play dirty, play hard. Let's go.
The trophy could be at stake here, folks. Cindy Brown has the World Championship trophy. On the bridge. Get set. Sir, we got to get you off the course there. That's where they're coming. That's where they're coming. I don't want anybody dying. Okay, off to the right here, too. On your marks, get set, go! They're off early and fast. Okay, you see what the Smooshbucklers are. Hey, folks, off the course, please. Here they come. Thank you. Here they come. The Hilkies are heading around the North Cone. The Smooshbucklers are in the lead. Heading around the East Cone. The Smooshbucklers got the advantage at the jump on this race, folks. Here come the Smooshbucklers down the straight. I don't think they'll be doing any moonwalks here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the hot-headed Hilkies may lose their first heat of the 2010 competition. Here come the Smooshbucklers. Okay, let's turn them around. Have them go right away again, folks. Yeah! Okay. As soon as you're ready, go. As soon as you're ready, go. As soon as you're ready, I said go. All I can do is give you 3 warnings. Okay, the Hilkies are off early, folks. There they go. Here come the Smooshbucklers. The Hilkies are off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your championship race. This is your championship race, ladies and gentlemen. The Smooshbucklers are rounding the East Cone. This looks like it could be all over, unless... Jim, what do you think, bud? If you just get...
Go!
See, we weren't...
Can you say defibrillation?
Ladies and gentlemen, the swoosh. Okay, this could be interesting. This could be interesting, folks. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, guys, it's finished.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, this competition isn't for sissies, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have it here.
It's not just a sport, John, it's a lifestyle.
That's right, Pete, it's a lifestyle. Pete says this is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Smooshbucklers can come back here, we will award them the 2010 Smooshboarding World Championship Trophy. All right, come on out here, guys. To the 2010 Smooshbucklers World Champions. This is all about sportsmanship, folks.
The 2010 Smooshboard race is over, and the Smooshbucklers take back their championship from the hot-headed Hilkies. John, what's your reaction to today's event?
Well, I was naturally astounded by the athleticism of the Smooshbucklers this year. You know, these guys average, I think they're 70, 72 years old, something like that. You can see that they're not in shape, so I was really surprised at the effort that they put forth. The MVP of the Smooshbucklers is Anna, the standard bearer of the flag, who held up the hot-headed Hilkies in that final heat to allow the Smooshbucklers to win the race. So all in all, it's a fair competition this year.
Do you think their victory has anything to do with the onesies they were wearing?
Yeah, the onesies, is that what you call them? Singlets? They kind of look like the Borat thongs from the movie. But I do think they look good on one of them.
Which one is that?
No, I'm not gonna divulge the one. You can get a shot, and maybe the fans can vote. You know, it's pretty ugly.
Now last year we had all these allegations of steroid use.
Yes.
This year collusion, because you come into this event with 2 teams under your roster. I heard some talk out in the crowd here. They're calling you the New York Yankees of smooshboarding.
Well, you know, the Resco team, the Hot-Headed Hilkies, have a long lineage of victories here, only interrupted periodically by the Smooshbucklers, who are the other multi-world champions. So it goes back and forth. But next year, again, I think if we get the bovine growth hormones dialed in with the Hilkies, I think they'll be able to improve.
Do you feel like a salary cap in smooshboarding could limit your success?
No, we pay our team 6 figures apiece. It's all they do. No work is expected out of the Resco team. Strictly smooshboard activities. Diet, exercise, Chuckles, Fun Yums, Ho-Hos, and Twinkies. Raw meat too, Mountain Dew. The diet's all important.
Well, it's John Knutson from Resco, sponsor of the event and sponsor of the champions, the Smooshbucklers. Smooshbucklers, last year, you guys fell to the Hot-Headed Hilkies. This year, back in Victory Lane.
Yeah, we've been thinking about it for a full year. It's been a long year. That's what drove us. That's what drove us to do what we did this year. It's a longer course set up by Resco, who sponsors the event. And it's funny, his team won last year. So what does he do this year? He brings a younger, better shaped crowd or team than us. He lengthens the course thinking, hey, every advantage is his. Now, I don't care how old we are. Smooshboarding to us is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. Okay, and by the way, I want everyone to know, they're not onesies, they're union suits, and that's masculine.
Were you guys motivated by the fact that John almost turned his back on you guys?
We're used to it. We know when we come out here who John is planning to have win this event. We're the underdog every time we come out here. I don't understand why more people don't cheer for us. We play fair, we play hard.
And it seems like he really is out to get you. I mean, he's out rolling in front of you guys. I mean, how do you overcome somebody like him?
Well, first of all, it's jealousy. And you can't let somebody like that bother you. As soon as you let him get underneath your skin, as soon as I'm down as an individual, we're finished as a team. So we all together have to rise above that.
And really, I mean, you guys were well ahead of them coming down the stretch, but they had an equipment breakdown. One thing I've noticed about you guys is your design of your smooshboard is unlike any other. And what went into that?
Well, let's put it this way. That's a prime example of where the smart guy always wins. They might be young, they might be quick, but come on. They're sniffing ink all day.
Well, that's the Smooshbucklers, the 2010 smooshboarding champions. And up next, hopefully, we get some balloons up in the air for this afternoon's flight. The 2010 Hudson Hot Air Affair Moonglow is over, and it wouldn't be a Moonglow without talking to the ladies from Milwaukee, but only 3 of you here right now. Where's the rest of the crew?
Oh, well, there's so much going on here. We've got activities in the Freedom Value Center tent, and there's a craft show inside. So there's lots of things going on, talking to pilots, and just, you know, we've been here for 17 years. We've met so many wonderful people and their families that do this as a hobby, and so.
A lot of the balloonists we talk to say we come here over and over again, you know, and they kind of give the same reason you did, and it's a family. You guys aren't really balloonists, you're not pilots or crew, but you still make a point of showing up every year and just being here. I mean, what does this mean to you to be here every year?
Well, we do have, typically there's more of us. There are 9 of us here this weekend. And my twin sister, their sister, she has flown 7 times as a passenger. She's not a pilot. And she kind of got us the bug, and our eldest sister here from Minnesota, she kind of came up with a way for us to get together once a year and have a lot of fun. And it's too bad she doesn't live in Miami. But there's no balloons in Miami, I don't think. If there were.
Yes.
And then we have the youngest of the Anderson girls. She lives in Phillips. So it's a nice place for us to get together in the middle of winter. Most people don't think that's fun, but we find it very fun.
It's a pretty good crew, and of course there's plenty to do here, but what do you guys do? I mean, when you're not at the balloon events, are you kind of around town? I mean, what's the activity schedule like for you?
Well, we always go to Dick's. You got to go to Dick's and have supper after the parade, and we're always in the parade. And then we do all the shops here, up and down on Saturday. We try to frequent all the taverns, all the restaurants, antique shops.
Love the antique shops.
Love the antique shops. Sometimes we'll go over to Stillwater, do some there, do the hot tub back at the hotel.
Wine.
Oh, wine.
Casanovas.
Yep, Casanovas, man. We hit it all. And they know everybody. They know right where they want to go in the stores. It's great. And everybody's great. Everyone's wonderful.
It sounds...
Part of it is supporting all of the sponsors and people that do a lot for this event. And so by patronizing them, and we hope that other people do, it shows our support for them.
Sounds like a tough life for you guys every weekend when you come here.
We do bring Mom. We have in the past. We've been coming here for many years.
17.
We have a lot of friends who wear funny cow outfits, but we wear funny outfits too.
That's part of it.
But we do bring our mom, and she's 84 this year, and she has promised to come with us next year. So we're gonna fire her wheelchair up and bring her on up.
It sounds like, just from being around here, that you guys have really almost become another attraction. They should put you in the program.
Actually, this morning we were asked to be the Grand Marshals of the parade for next year, and we're just really thrilled about that. So we can't wait.
Yeah, even if they're lying to us about it, it's fun. You guys are lying to us about it, I think, you know. But we do have a lot of fun with it, and it started as a family thing, and this woman off camera, I stood up for her wedding. She's so cute, she's still married. Ah! Poor thing. But it's over the years, like this weekend we have 9, and we've had as many as, I think it was 11 one year. But it's all friends that kind of latch on, they hear about this, and we just don't tell them how cold it is. So we can usually bring a handful of people, although in a few years too, it's just been Mom and the daughters. So we do have a lot of fun with it.
Well, it sounds like we've broken the scoop. Next year, 2011, the ladies from Milwaukee will be the Grand Marshals, so stick around for that. 2011 Hot Air Affair. Ladies from Milwaukee, but thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you very much.
Balloon pilots leave the ground without knowing where exactly their flight will take them. They literally fly with the wind. There's no goal in ballooning, but for Steve Jacobs, there is a purpose.
We started an organization called Dive and Fly for Haiti. What it is we're raising money to give to an orphanage in Haiti. My daughters went to Haiti last summer. They were there for about a month. We got to know a couple missionaries, and after the earthquake, we got concerned about them. So we called down there, asked them what they needed, and they said, well, you really can't provide what we need right now because it's not getting in. I said, well, what can we do for you the next couple months? And he goes, we need $50,000 to finish our orphanage. So me and my wife aren't rich people, but we thought about it, prayed about it for a little bit, and we decided to donate 100 balloon rides to this orphanage in Haiti. So when we sold those balloon rides, we'd give all those proceeds to this orphanage. But that was still, $24,000, $25,000 short. The missionary got a matching grant of $10,000. Then we were still $15,000 short. So I emailed Dave Jarvis of the Afton House and asked him to participate, and he was able to pull together 70 different restaurants who donated gift cards, and those gift cards are being sold over the internet along with my balloon rides, and when we sell everything, we'll have $50,000. The orphanage in Haiti is called Hope in the Light Ministries. It's a Christian-based organization. They are there to build an orphanage. They're in the process of doing that now. They're running a school out of a church that schools 200 kids. Their goal is to build this orphanage and hopefully down the year build bigger ones and other ones. They've only been there for 2 years, but they have a really good passion for it, and we're excited to be part of it.
The orphanage has a connection to Steve's family.
2 of my daughters went down there, and actually 2 of my nieces. There was 4 of them that went down there. But my 2 daughters, it's funny, 2 extremes. One daughter was so homesick and sad, and she still loved it. I mean, when she came home, she loved that she did it. The other daughter didn't want to come home. She loved helping out. And I've been on mission trips myself. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience to go somewhere where they have so little and they're able to be so happy. I mean, we get caught up in our day-to-day lives here and we think, oh goodness gracious, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. You go somewhere where somebody just wishes they had a pair of shoes. It puts life in perspective for you. So we were very excited to send our girls down there because both of our girls we adopted. So they were basically orphans themselves at one time. And to go down there and see that there's people that are orphans today and have no prospects of ever not being an orphan is amazing for them, and they realize how good they have it, and now they're already planning on how they can give back.
While in Haiti, the girls worked on a project that's paying big dividends today.
When my girls went to Haiti, they worked on 2 things. They worked on a cistern and a basketball court. The cistern was just water that was going to be for the orphanage. The basketball court, however, was the orphanage is in a mountainous region, so they wanted a flat spot for the kids to play games and play basketball and stuff. So they took 6 feet out of one side of the hill, and then on the other side they added the 6 feet. So with wheelbarrows and shovels, they worked for a month on this thing. So they level off basically a basketball field. And at the time they thought, oh, this is stupid, the orphanage isn't even done. When the earthquake hit, it was the only flat spot for miles and miles around. There's literally a tent city there now. People came from all over the place because there was a flat spot for them to pitch their tent and to live while their homes were destroyed. So it's amazing how things work out.
Balloon rides, dining, and hotel rooms have been donated by businesses across the area. Jacobs has received a lot of support in this effort, and he stresses the money will all go where it belongs.
Click on what you want, and then it'll reroute you to PayPal, and PayPal will send that money directly to Hope and Light Ministries. We never see any of the money. As soon as we get confirmation of that money, we send you out your gift cards.
Return flyers are welcome to purchase a certificate through this program, but Jacobs looks forward to flying with passengers who have never been in a balloon.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I've been flying for 20 years, and I've never ever had anyone disappointed. We take off in one of the most beautiful areas in the country, right along the St. Croix River. No matter which direction we go, it's beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. It's the comforts of your living room in a hot air balloon, but looking at the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen. I don't know how. It's not scary. It's not bumpy. It's just the best way to see this valley.
Steve's balloons offer a different experience than many other balloons.
Bigger baskets I've come to really appreciate just for the stability of them. My balloons take anywhere from 8 to 16 people. My biggest balloon, when it's fully loaded, is 4,000 pounds floating through the air. It's 100,000 cubic feet bigger than the Goodyear blimp. When it comes down, it comes down and lands smoothly because it's just so big. When it's flying through the air, I mean, somebody moving around the basket doesn't move the basket. It's just really stable. And the basket itself is 4.5 feet wide by 12 feet long. So even though it's a huge basket and there's a lot of people, you still have a lot of room.
Whether it's for pure enjoyment or to help people in need, this pilot enjoys his craft.
Vikings!